Welcome everybody to a review of the third film in the Universal Noir number 2 box set, and it is 1947's Singapore. So this is directed by John Brahm, who also did The Mad Magician, starring Vincent Price, and it clocks in at 79 minutes long, stars Fred MacMurray, who is in the really rather excellent run of films in the likes of The Apartment, Double Indemnity, Remember the Night, and Pushover. Pushover it was in one of the previous Columbia Noir box sets, and he was great in that film. Also stars Ava Gardner, who was in the likes of The Killers, 7 Days in May, On the Beach, and 55 Days at Peking. And finally, Thomas Gomez, who was in a bunch of film noirs in the 40s, like Key Largo, Force of Evil, Phantom Lady, and Johnny O'Clock. Johnny O'Clock also in one of the previous film noir box sets that we've had from Indicator. So yeah, this is about the Matt Gordon, who after the war returns to Singapore to retrieve a fortune in smuggled pearls. $250,000 in fact, which is obviously quite a lot for back then. He arrives at the he reminisces in flashback about his pre-war fiancée, alluring Linda, and her disappearance during the Japanese attack on Singapore. But now Linda resurfaces with amnesia and married to a rich planter called Van Leyden. Meanwhile, sinister fence Maribus schemes to get Matt's pearls. So yeah, despite this coming across as a bit of a Casablanca knockoff in certain respects, you know, it's set in a foreign city. You've got US citizens in the city, and it's set during World War II. But yeah, only the World War II aspect is similar really in terms of Casablanca, as well as obviously the foreign location, because the rest of this is pretty much different to that film. But this was still an enjoyable mix of the film noir, crime and romance genres. This is thanks to the two great leads, a solid supporting cast. The romance element is convincing. It is well paced. It is engrossing throughout due to the two plot threads running alongside each other in an effective manner. And yeah, the production is good, especially when it comes to the Japanese attack on Singapore, and the score is decent. So yeah, this is my favourite of the first three films in this box set, to be honest, which usually isn't the case for these kind of films. I've seen someone call them Oriental Noir on Letterboxd in terms of, you know, these foreign set noir films, which like Calcutta, Scirocco. We've had a couple of those before. Scirocco was in the Columbia Noir number 5 box set, and Calcutta I think was in the previous. I've heard of Calcutta somewhere, but I don't think I've got it on a box set, unfortunately. But we also had Affair in Trinidad, which again is a similar kind of, you know, film in that regard. So yeah, we've had plenty of those kind of films before set in a foreign country, but this is easily my favourite of the bunch that we've seen so far from these kind of box sets. As yeah, the short running time makes this fly by, which is also helped by the two plot threads running alongside one another, and then you combine that with the really good performances and the good characterization, especially the chemistry between our two leads before her amnesia and after the fact as well. So yeah, really good effort, to be honest. And yeah, surprises me because, like I said, these foreign set noir films usually are the weakest of the films in these sets, which thankfully has not been the case with this one. And it's not just a case of the previous two films being a bit of a letdown, it's just generally good in its own right. So the 2021 restoration from the 2K scan also looked really good. The original mono audio is still usable. It's not, you know, a bad audio set at all. Got audio commentary with screenwriter and author Kelly Goodner and filmmaker and film historian Jim Hephill from 2023. You got A Woman of the World from 2023, clocking at 20 minutes long. Critic and writer Christina Newlin examines the unique noir persona of Ava Gardner. She wasn't in a huge amount of noirs, Ava Gardner. The only other one I've seen is The Killers, which is obviously superior to this, but it is still the only other noir that I've seen her in. You got Lux Radio Theatre Singapore from 1947, a 57-minute vintage radio adaptation of the screenplay, featuring Fred MacMurray and Ava Gardner reprising their roles from the film. You got Rewind Unlimited, an 11-minute dramatised short film from 1944 about the training of cadet nurses during World War II, directed by Jacques Tournier and featuring Singapore's actor Spring Byington. Can't remember what role she was in, to be honest, in this, but you know, it's a connection with this and that short film. And then you got With This Ring from 1954, 41-minute dramatized promotional film for the Miller Brewing Company, made to celebrate their 100th anniversary, directed by John Brown. You got original theatrical trailer, image gallery, new and improved English subtitles, and like the previous two films, it's a UK premiere on Blu-ray. So, yeah, it's overall a really, really good film. You could easily say it just for being a Casablanca knockoff, and on the surface, that's how it comes across. But there's more to it than that, especially the amnesia element, which is obviously not something part of Casablanca. And yeah, it's far better paced and far more engrossing than the likes of Scirocco was, which, again, like I said, was easily the weakest of the films out of that Columbia Noir #5 box set. So yeah, get out there and see this if you haven't already. It's, like I said, my favourite of the 3 that I've seen so far at this box set. Whether or not it will be my actual favourite out of the box set, we'll have to see. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.